What is up, guys? I'm Review, and today I'm going to be talking about who will win the Western Conference. As everybody knows, that is extremely stacked with teams, and it's definitely the more dominant conference this year. So yeah, I'm just gonna say who's gonna win it in my opinion. So without further ado, without me rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. So the first thing I'm actually going to get into is going to be who are the actual people that actually do have a chance to win the the Western Conference. So the teams I think actually have a chance is San Antonio, Houston, Oklahoma, and the Minnesota and Golden State Warriors, obviously. So now how each team actually has a chance? Like how do they even have a chance? So the first team I'm actually going to get into is Golden State because they have literally the best team the NBA or any NBA fan has ever seen. No doubt, they are the best team the NBA has ever seen, and obviously they've won 2 out of the 3 last championships with KD, Stephen Curry, one of the best shooters in Klay Thompson, and one of the best defenders in the league in Draymond Green. Literally one of the best teams you will ever see. And now the second team is Oklahoma City. And the reason I think they have a chance is obviously because they're off season. They were able to get Carmelo Anthony and Paul George, and obviously from trades. So obviously in trading, you usually have to get rid of some valuable assets to get stars like this. They were able to get those two elite players definitely in the top 10 and 12 in the league. All they had to get rid of to get them to was Victor Oladipo, Sabonis, Enes Kanter, McDermott, and a second round pick. They got rid of pennies to get $100 bills. They got one of the best scorers in the league in Carmelo Anthony, which they needed. They needed a knockdown scorer because Russell Westbrook, he's a hitter and miss scorer, and Carmelo Anthony, he's a hit scorer on every night. Then Paul George, he's a 6'9" small forward that can grab you rebounds and go off and scoring any night and can kind of pass the ball. So they got the two people they needed, and I mean, they had a great offseason. So now they're going to have a starting 5 of Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, Paul George, Steven Adams, and Andre Roberson. So extremely great players. Andre Roberson's a young player that's still developing in this league, so no telling what he can develop with those stars around him. And Steven Adams isn't a joke either. He's one of the best centers in the league too. Probably a top 10 center in the league. And now the third team, the Houston Rockets. Now, they're another team that are going to be in here because they're off season, as they were ranked number 2 in offense. Last year they were ranked number 2 in points per game, and they were ranked number 2, just like they're ranked number 2 on offense. And obviously, the offseason is another reason, as they were able to add elite passer Chris Paul, who will help with James Harden scoring way more. And obviously, their offense is obviously also going to be another reason they have a chance to win the Western Conference. So their offseason offense is why I think Houston has a chance. And now the team I think a lot of people are actually excited to watch this year are going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves. And they're another team that I have because of their offseason. They were able to flip Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, and Zach LaVine was their big 3 last year. And they were able to flip that into Karl Anthony Towns, one of the best power forwards or centers in the league. Jimmy Butler, one of the most lockdown defenders and just scorers and shooting guard / point guard position. And Andre Wiggins, one of the best scorers in the league, and which they actually struggled with last year was their defense. But now they have Jimmy Butler, who's one of the best defensive players in the league. So obviously he has a huge chance of helping them with the defense. So I mean, you never know. So really, their offense and their offseason once again are going to be huge reasons why they actually have a chance. And now the last team that I have on the list is the San Antonio Spurs. These people's defense was ranked first in last year, sports reports and all that ranked them first in defense, and they were second in points allowed per game. Like their opponents only scored, they scored the second least than any other team allowed. So you know what I mean. And they actually had Golden State last year when they won the finals with Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. They had Golden State down by 20 until Kawhi got hurt. No telling how that series could have ended up if Kawhi would have never got hurt. So I just gave all the reasons why I do think each team has a chance to win the Western Conference Finals. Now let's get into who I actually think will win the Conference Finals. So what do I think the Conference Finals will even look like? I think it will be Golden State against OKC. Obviously bearing no injuries. This is all based on them having no injuries. So The reason I think this is because of pure emotion. I think OKC is going to get there. Russell Westbrook wants to beat Kevin Durant so bad, and now that he has a team around him that can help beat Kevin Durant, I think he'll have one of the best series he's ever had against Kevin Durant. As I think they will be a 1 and 2 seed, so I don't think they will meet until the conference finals. And also, Melo and Paul George, they went to that team because they knew that there would be a championship contending team because they have little to none playoff success. Paul George and Melo have struggled in the playoffs ever since they became in the league, even though they're elite players. So going to a team with last year's MVP, one of the best centers in the league, and now with Paul George and Carmelo, this team is definitely going to be one of, if not, I think the second best team in the Western Conference Finals. But I do not think they can beat Golden State only because, I mean, just think about it. No one, the team is just amazing. It's one of the best teams you've ever seen. Kevin Durant, a one-time MVP, a one-time league MVP, and he's been to the NBA Finals 2 times. This dude is the second best player in the league. Draymond Green, he won Defensive Player of the Year last year. He's one of the most lockdown defensive players in the league. Klay Thompson, this dude's one of the best knockdown shooters in the entire league. And then you have Steph Curry. He's a 2-time MVP, a 2-time NBA champ, and a one no and yeah. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, you can't really go against that team in my opinion. So I do think Golden State Warriors are going to end up winning the Western Conference Finals again, but I don't think they'll be able to go undefeated. I don't see another scenario where they can possibly go undefeated in the playoffs like they did until the NBA Finals. I don't see that ever happening. So yeah. You never know. So before I end this video, I'm going to go and just recap of what I said. The contenders are San Antonio, Houston, Oklahoma, Minnesota, and Golden State. I think a lot of people can agree on that. And how I think each team's going to win, I think Golden State's going to win off just pure talent alone. Then I think you have OKC, who had a great offseason, being able to pick up Carmelo and PG-13. Houston, their offense and their offseason, as they were able to pick up Chris Paul and all that, and their offense was just already great, and then adding Chris Paul is going to make it so much better. And Minnesota's also their offseason being able to flip what they had last year, which was already really young and really talented, into Jimmy Butler, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Andrew Wiggins. So they are very well-rounded and ready for the championship, but I think they're too young to win it. And then San Antonio, whose defense was beast and almost helped beat Golden State last year, but until Kawhi Leonard actually ended up getting hurt. And then I do think Golden State will become better than OKC this year, but I think it will be a very close series. I think it will be a 7-game series, and no telling who will win that. So yeah, and if y'all want to see a same video like this on the Eastern Conference, I can easily do that as well. It might not be as complex and long, mostly because the Eastern Conference is terrible this year. But yeah, I'm just gonna, if y'all like this video, hit the like button if you want me to make another video on the Eastern Conference, and also comment below if you want me to make another video on the Eastern Conference. And at any point, if you like this video at all, it means the world if you just hit the like button. And if you really, really liked me and you really want to just make me real happy, to subscribe button, it would really mean the world to me. We are already at 73 subscribers. If we can somehow hit 80 by the end of this month, or by the end of next month, I mean, I would probably cry. I mean, 80 subscribers, Jesus Christ, that's only 20 away from 100. I set my goal for 50 this year. We're at 73. We're 23 people over. That's amazing to me. Thank you so much. And yeah, and if you didn't like the video, don't hit the dislike button. You don't want to hurt my feelings. Alright, just don't hurt my feelings. Just leave. You don't have to hit the dislike button unless you want to, but yeah, don't do that. Don't hit the dislike button. And kids, don't think I forgot about you either. Kids, remember, never do your vegetables. Always eat drugs. Stay safe. Wear your seatbelt. Goodbye.